Hello, I made a video a few years ago where I painted another night. I'm assuming most people who watched that one have died by now. It was a long time ago, but if you watched that one and now you're here again, welcome back. Congratulations. A lot of this was documented poorly, but I hope you like it anyways. Again, always, if you're new here, sorry, and thanks for coming by.
Well, gamers, your old pal Tyler's done it again. Another painting project where I barely documented anything. This time it's a chaos night, and we're gonna get the last 10% of this process now that all the interesting, hard to do stuff is done. And you get to see me slap on some banners. These are the banners. They're already up for free on my Patreon. You don't have to be a member or anything. I think just anyone can download them. A lot of the art at the bottom is stolen from a band I like a lot called 𝔓𝔬𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢𝔢 stupid to know how to print something double-sided. So instead, I'm kind of running out of like printer ink right now. I don't want to bother waiting. I'll probably cut out a few of these and see how they go. I think like, yeah, if I tuck some in like here and just like paint the back mostly like a weathered brown, it'll probably look okay. I just wanted to have some fun freehanding. I'll get some like nice beauty shots later too. These designs are also very much inspired by like metal logos and fonts. And we're done with a combination of these Micron pens, or what brand is this? Faber-Castell? Micron or Faber-Castell? As far as I can tell, they're like kind of interchangeable. Yeah, I like did a lot of this with like sketching them out in Faber-Castell, but I feel like the finished pen look leaves something like to be desired for me. I would like basically just do like outlines with it and then like ink it with just like normal black acrylic paint after. Mechanical pencil, also really good for sketching on the surface of the knight. I would like do sketches of these two, and then after go back with acrylic paint, and then like make the lines like thicker and like styled a bit better. And then did a like secondary highlight of like white or off-white after. So if you paint like the bottom part of your freehand with like a brighter color, it'll like sort of create the illusion of like depth, like it's like a chipped surface. And even if it doesn't sell that successfully, then I think it looks cool, at least here. You can probably see it the most on this section. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's something that's like weathered like quite a bit after too, which dulled it down a bit, but I think made it look like more natural. Next step is to cut these guys out with an X-Acto and then just cover them in Mod Podge, which is this stuff. It's a thin layer of Mod Podge to make them hard. If you like bend them a bit into like curvy, like natural shapes and then cover them in Mod Podge, then you can like dry the banners like they're like mid-motion, and it looks better even if they're just like straight down, obviously. This is not normal printer paper. This is cardstock paper, which is a tiny bit thicker, again for durability. I don't know where my tripod is, and cutting these out while filming is too annoying. So I just did it without filming because I'm a kind of YouTuber. Basically, yeah, you just cut out the strips of paper though. I tried to make the edges like a little jaggedy with my X-Acto as I cut. I think it makes them look a lot better. If you want, you can also like get like real raggedy at the bottom and cut out like little chips and sections like I did here. The white part that you can see, I'm just gonna paint over like after I glue it in. And then, yeah, most of the backs of these look like a little fucked up, but I kind of like that there's like something there. Like really, yeah, as long as this side looks okay and I put it in a place that's like, you're not gonna see the back too much, like it'll probably be fine for these small ones.
One of my favorite parts about modeling nights and like this project specifically has been doing all of our like scenic bases and trying to have each one tell like part of a larger story. They all have like little bits of war machinery from Imperial forces or like bodies of Krieg guardsmen everywhere. And as much as I like just like a basic bitch 3rd, 4th edition base that's just like brown with some grass tufts, A, I feel like, you know, it just obviously fits the art style of the models more. And then B, to me, it feels like it's like they're part of a real world with bases like this. Like it feels like it's like a stop motion set in a movie. That was like sort of the energy I was going for. All the models in this army are implied to be in some kind of like trench warfare world, but I didn't actually end up making that many trenches. There's a lot of barbed wire and like ruined city structures and stuff like that, but yeah, I wanted to like make an actual trench for the last night. This is an old Bloodthirster I kit bashed with War Dog for my Chaos Space Marine army. It's kind of hard to see here, but he has like planks he's walking over that I made out of
of coffee stirs. So for the third and for now final big night in this army, I wanted to do the same thing and make it look like he was walking over a bunch of planks in a trench. I found it was easier to just glue all of the planks down to the base and then cut them after instead of like trying to cut them and then glue them. Yeah, I mean, all I did is exactly what it looks like here. I just glued the planks down and then cut them after to match the circumference of the base. It probably makes more sense to A, paint the knight in sub-assembly, and then B, also like not paint him while glued down to the base because it makes it harder to dry brush like the boards and stuff. I really like seeing like the model as a whole and being able to visualize how it's gonna look, and for me it's harder to do that while he's like in a bunch of pieces still. I just lose the pieces constantly. That's a me problem that might not apply to you, but if you're here it might. As is pretty common for Chaos Knights, I wanted a bunch of big spikes coming out of his back. A lot of these are from the Wargames Atlantic Dead Animal Bits box, a box I'm struggling to frame correctly. I like drilling one hole and then putting one spike in instead of like just making a bunch of holes and sticking the spikes in after, because I feel like it's pretty easy to like do too much or realize that they're like way too close or like, you know, something's wrong. I don't really remember what I'm doing here. I think I'm like trying to clean up glue that's all icky. Yeah, that's okay. That's it. I should have waited until I saw this. This is the new skull kit that came out a little while ago. Whoever sculpted this did an insane job. There's so much like variety and then like little storytelling moments of like how individual people seem to have died just based on the sculpts. It's yeah, it rocks. Some of the heads on here are supposed to represent like my friends' factions. Some are supposed to represent people who I just feel like I play against a lot in events. But they're all chosen somewhat deliberately. The kit bashing I get the most excited about, both like in things I make and other people's, is stuff that either feels like really deliberate or well thought out, or like extremely specific to the person who made it. And that doesn't mean it's like an originality contest either. Like everybody has been doing this since like Warhammer first became a thing, but trying to choose skulls that felt like unique and specific to both me and this night project felt like one of the purest joys of kit bashing. Anyways, I don't have that much footage and I used a lot of it to describe the kit bash analogy, so I skipped some steps, but basically, yeah, I made a bunch of custom things out of green stuff, magnetized the weapons, and then went in with like enough of a plan that I had an idea for how I wanted him to look, kind of, sort of, but I didn't want to plan out the whole night too meticulously because otherwise I felt like I would have gotten bored with him by the time I was done. Something I've been doing for chaos vehicles for a little while now is adding spikes for like metal battle jackets. I just drill a big hole through wherever I want the spike to be and then screw it in. They're like designed to be screwed into leather and stuff, so it's pretty easy. You don't even really need to use glue. The most appealing aspect of wargaming to me used to be that you were encouraged to use like weird stuff that shouldn't really be for model making. Like the deodorant land speeder is a very famous example of that. And I still know a lot of people like doing that for projects, but it's obviously not encouraged by Games Workshop themselves anymore. And I'm hoping it just like comes back more and more with time. Spoiler, my next video is probably going to be 100% Games Workshop plastic, and I'm going to break this immediately. Don't call me a hypocrite when that one comes out. Yeah, and that was the whole assembly process for this night. I didn't cover the painting that much because, frankly, I feel like the paint job on this guy was kind of rushed. He was the last one, and I was working on him until the last minute before the tournament. But it was pretty similar to the paint job I did on the first night, like a few years ago. I mean, he looks different, but the techniques I used are basically the same. I just used like slightly different colors and whatever. The only thing I can really think of is like I used a little more oils and enamels this time around than I did last time, but there's still quite a lot last time. One new technique I've been doing is putting these dots of oils around and then blending them together with Gamsol. You can use any mineral spirit, but I use Gamsol. A lot of like historical scale model guys do it. You just kind of make streaks with the Gamsol until it doesn't look bad anymore. I kit bashed these war dogs when I made the old night video, but I tried to make them a little more exciting. Like I added the eye from the Death Guard vehicle to the front of this dude, and this one got a bunch of tendrils and cables coming out of him. I'm gonna cut to some finished shots of the knights now, and if you like this video, thanks. I make more and you know all the other YouTube stuff. I don't know. Everyone says like and subscribe. It's exhausting. I'll subscribe if you want to, but thanks for watching for real either way.